So I shared the start of this crazy story in a previous video on this channel, but to catch you up, here's the cliff notes. I heard a big crash. I went out to check it out and saw a 70-foot brick fence had collapsed right against my house. I then shot a bully right between the eyes. And then I went to bed wondering what happened to that fence and had a crazy dream about shooting squirrels. Then I woke up and presented my theory to my neighbor on what happened to this fence. And that's where today's video starts. And so after sleeping on it, I presented my theory. 6 months earlier. In September, I heard a huge crack. It sounded like lightning, but it was a bluebird day. And I walked out seeing this ginormous crack in the fork of this tree right where it split into these two massive trees in their own right. This thing is a huge 120-plus-year-old oak, and it came down in her yard as a result of this crack. But how did that crack happen? Well, it was the direct result of a clan of tree rats hollowing out a huge bunker within that fork of the tree. They eventually took 30,000 pounds of oak tree piece by piece down, but the last section, which was about 25-30 feet, had to come down in one go. They put a bunch of tires down to try to dampen the energy, but it just shook the house and, more importantly, the foundation of that fence right next to it. So it took a little time, but eventually that fence came down. I'm just thankful one of my kids wasn't standing there. So while my neighbor was writing a $7,500 check to rebuild that dang fence, I was busy deciding which March optics should I put on my new Steyr Pro X Scout. The FX 5-42 wide angle, the 5-40, the 1.5-15, or the ATN X-Sight 4K Pro. Why? Well, it's payback time. Yes, I'm aware a few of those triple and quad attempts didn't quite hit the mark, but sometimes you just need to go full send with a little spray and pray on these tree rats to send a little bit of a message. Mi casa is not tu casa, you dumb squirrel. If you enjoyed that clip, you should click this video to watch the full story.